Good Friday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. This is your outlook for January 10th, 2014, and we're starting off with the NAM future radar reflectivity, and this is actually starting off from a little just past midnight on early Friday here, and we're going to go from this point. Actually, this is midnight here, and this is going to 1 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be a band that's moving across, expected to move across and intensify as it does so. This is ahead of a warm front here, and as it moves through in the wee hours of the morning here, we're going to get a burst of snow here over some areas from northeast PA all the way down to east central PA. So these areas we'd expect to you can wake up in the morning and you can see some snow on the ground. This is from that first batch that moves through. But I do think that there's going to be a considerable break behind it. Here's 4 o'clock, still going strong in northeast PA before it moves into New York State. But the next batch here is going to be coming behind it. But in between here's 6 a.m. There's going to be a break. So if you're waking up around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, looking outside, you're saying, well, where's the snow? What's going on? I thought we were supposed to have snow. And you'll see it on the ground in some spots, but not really much going on at this point. I do think the second batch does move through, though, here like the NAM high res does here, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So we get to mid-morning here, another batch coming through. I'm going to stop here at 9 o'clock in the morning here because I'm going to show you where the 32-degree line is sitting way down to the south here like this. So anything that's falling north of this line is in the frozen variety. So even if it is the mid-levels are warm enough to support rain, as the NAM high-res indicates here, this is falling as light freezing rain. NAM indicates that this is going to be snow as it moves through. A lot of times when you have a break after an initial burst of snow and the second batch comes through, when you have warm air advection in the situation, it comes through as freezing rain the second time when you have a break like that. So even though it's showing snow up in this area, it might not be at that point. So I think your snow you're going to get is going to be probably what's already there when you wake up in the morning from what fell overnight for some areas. And we're only generally looking at about a coating to an inch for most areas anyway. Go over the weather alert maps here. This is our call on this system, and this is all this blue here up here is all a coating to an inch that we're looking for. The pink is just starting off with snow and going over to some light freezing rain at some point, and then we're looking at this red here being a primarily light freezing rain event, freezing rain or drizzle, and up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. Of ice accumulating in this area here. Now down here, this is the area we're just expecting to be rain, and that's okay, continues over eastern Long Island as well. But this is this entire area in green here is just the all rain area, not expecting any windshield precipitation. Go over to the GFS now. We're going to go to Friday night now and early Saturday morning. We're going to have some rain move in from the south here. Actually, let's go back to the NAM high res here because this does show this pretty well here. You can have that break here during the day here on Friday, and then Friday evening you're going to have another batch of rain that's going to move through here. You can see that right here, and then as we go into the overnight hours on Saturday night, it's going to continue. Go to the GFS, and that's showing that pretty well here. Here's Saturday morning here on the GFS. And then we're going to have a cold front moving in from the west. Now, what's going to happen here is you have very strong area low pressure moving up to the Great Lakes. It's going to continue up in this manner like this. There's a cold front that's attached to it that's sitting down here like this. And there's all this warm air and strong southerly winds out in front of this front. I think once we get, this is Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and you're just getting into the light to moderate rainfall at this point. But as we go a little bit forward here, this is the next frame here, and now we see that the system is way up here into southeastern Canada. Here's your cold front just sitting here like this, and there's some very, very heavy rainfall that's being shown over eastern PA and New Jersey at this point, and very strong southerly winds out ahead of this front where temperatures are going to surge. So it's kind of a two-part thing. You're going to have in front of the warm front, or in front of the cold front here, you're going to have very strong winds, and you're also going to have temperatures going up pretty high into the mid 50s to near 60 in a lot of cases, and then once the front comes through, the temperatures drop back down. But I don't think it's going to drop down dramatically. You're going to have front drop down, but I don't think it's going to be a significant drop like we had a couple days ago. Winds will pick up a little bit on behind the front on Sunday, but nothing too terrible. And then our next system we're looking for is in the form of cold front, and this is going to come through on Tuesday. Now, a little bit of a difference in timing with this thing and what goes on. You can see where the cold front is here on the GFS. Cold front sitting here like this. There's an area of low pressure that develops to the south here and stays offshore, just carries off with a cold front to the northeast, and no harm, no foul. If this happens, the GFS shows, you just get a, just like a cold front moves through, you get a quick shot of some rain accompanying the front, and then it's heading out of here, and no big deal. This low pressure stays out ahead of it and moves harmlessly out to sea. Now this is the GFS model. We'll take a look at the European model that ran today. A little bit different of a look, not as progressive with the front, and GFS tends to be very progressive, so this is a red flag to begin with. Here's the front back here. Area low pressure is sitting down here. Okay, and it's moving right like this, and if it does that, and this front is slowed a little bit, you get into some decent rainfall here on Tuesday. And you can see here's Tuesday morning. Look at Tuesday midday. You get some pretty heavy rain occurring over this area, and that's because this front slowed down. The front's still sitting way back here like this, and your low pressure is kind of tracking right over top of us and heading northeast. And if that happens, you get some heavier rain on Tuesday. So we do have the rain chances in the forecast for Tuesday regardless, but it's going to depend on, as you see again here, here's Tuesday evening, still some pretty hefty rainfall amounts here. But this would be an all-rain event. We're not looking at anything frozen out of this system at all. After we get past the system on the 15th, I think we can start getting back into the colder, sustained cold pattern that we would expect out of winter. After this period of January thaw, we think we'll go through the 15th, but after that point, we can see temperatures start returning back down to normal for this time of year, with temperatures, temperatures back in the 30s, and for daytime highs, not 40s and 50s like we'll see during this time frame up until the 15th. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 10th, 2014. Have a great Friday.